What a pointed question. So obviously we want to launch the bridge at a strategic time that makes sense, not only necessarily for the markets, but also for marketing. So yes, we have started to roll out our marketing plans for Everbridge, and I hope to bring you guys some really great news here in the next couple of weeks. So just stay tuned.
So as of now, no launch date.
As of right now, no launch date.
Okay, fair enough.
The reality is Titan moves a lot faster than any of us realized he could move. So
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Typically, it'd be marketing waiting after development team to get the products done, but I guess it's the other way around for you guys.
I know it. We knew he was working on the bridge, but what I will say is we did not realize that the bridge construction was complete until he tweeted that. And like keep in mind that like myself, TJ, and the entire core team, we talk every single day. We hop on calls every single day, and he just also notified us via tweet. So it's been a really fun run. We knew it was coming, so we were starting to get marketing into place, and now marketing is kicking up into high gear now that it's complete.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for doing this. I know you guys are working hard. Everyone is. Quick question. That last question on marketing made me think of it. It's not a pointed question, though, Jen. Don't worry. But it made me think about the movement of the marketing funds recently, which you guys have been very clear about, very transparent about, and as a community member, we appreciate that. Um, Part of the decision making was in an effort to avoid value, right, with the fluctuations in the market. So my question is, has there been any consideration on moving back from a stable coin back into BNB as the market starts to show signs of stabilization in general?
As of right now, there are no plans to do that with the marketing funds that we've already withdrawn. Um, like I said, we're kicking marketing up into high gear for the bridge launch. So you guys might actually see some funds coming out over here over the next couple of weeks. But right now, no, it's kind of like in order for me to build an accurate budget, I need very specific numbers. So the safest thing for us to do is move it into a stable coin as soon as budgets are approved, if that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. Yeah, I know you guys are making smart decisions with that, but I thought it was worth asking. So yeah, I appreciate that. Awesome.
Another thing I want to point out with the marketing is that we're doing tier one marketing. We've outgrown BSC significantly. We've outgrown the influencer route. We've outgrown, little YouTube videos. We're a real altcoin. And the advertising that you're going to see in the marketing that we're going to be doing coming up is what you would expect from a top 100 altcoin, I would say. So we're really taking it seriously, and we know what we have, we know what we've built, and we know what's coming. And with that said, we're all excited and we're ready to deploy the capital in the best way possible, which we think is tier one marketing, which will come out soon. If anyone has a question, feel free to raise your hand. Dutch, I've unmuted you. You're free to chat.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Yeah, fine. How are you doing?
We're great.
Oh, great. Hey, I was wondering about the burn. Maybe we can have some discussion about that.
Yeah, I mean, so the announcement is happening on Sunday. So in terms of what TJ and I can say is actually very, very limited with regards to that. But I would love to open up the floor to a conversation about whether we should have a burn. Oh, sorry for the whining in the background. That's my dog. He's very
No
needy.
problem.
But one of the things that myself and the entire team was pretty amazed by was the conversations that we saw you guys having in Telegram. We think that there were really great points brought up on both sides of having a burn and not having a burn. And if we want to open the floor up to talk about that, like, let's do it.
Well, yeah, I voted no burn, and that's only because, well, if there's a 1500 BNB burn, I hope it's in sections and not in ones, because then there's gonna be a big sell-off. But yeah, I'm a little afraid.
Yeah. One thing I can tell you about the burn, which I am allowed to say, is whether or not we do it or not, it's not going to be all at once. That would be the silliest thing we could possibly do. I mean, if we pump 1500 BNB into the chart, everyone's going to dump.
Yeah,
like that's exactly a known thing. So we wouldn't do it that way.
Okay.
So don't worry.
That's great to hear.
Our decisions are all very calculated. They need to pass through a lot of people before they're signed off on. So
yeah, I know.
I wouldn't worry.
But there are points. I think it's good to burn. I mean, the price is good, so to burn a lot. So that's good. But the dump is scary, I think. But
yeah, we would never deploy a significant amount of BNB like that into the chart at one time.
No, because that happened day 3, I think, when the bot attack came. That was not a good thing.
Oh, you're talking like day 2,
yeah,
right?
day 2, the bot attack. That was not not the best.
I remember that very well.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
That was a hell of a moment.
Yep.
I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you a funny story about that, actually. So, like, leading up to launch day, first week of launch, I didn't leave my computer for 18 hours a day. The one time that I left to go take a shower that day was when the bot attack came, and I came back to an empty Kraken, and I saw the big green and big red on the chart, and panic. And from that, I mean, I'm glad that happened on day 2, because we've learned from that, and that will never happen again.
Well, yeah, and I thought it was good that that there was a quick communication with what's going on, so it was not a problem. I didn't sweat, so yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, our biggest thing since day 1 has been transparency. We'll always be completely transparent with you guys. We appreciate every single one of you, and your belief in us as a team.
Yeah, well, I was never in a community like this, so yeah, it's really great to be here and enjoying everyone of the team, the mods, the rest of the community. It's all great, man.
I love it. Thanks, Dutch.
Yeah, no problem, man.
TJ, can you assure us and the community as a whole that, when and how the Kraken gets deployed, that you won't take a shower this time?
Yes. You have my word.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, TJ, I basically make him check in with me every 10 minutes, so I know he's online.
Hey guys,
I never fail.
Quick question about the burn and stuff like that, and thank you for the time and putting on spaces and stuff like that. But I was following Telegram, and like I voted no burn because in my head I thought, like, from what Titan wanted to do originally was grow the Kraken organically and grow EverRise organically.
Hello, guys.
And I'm just scared of people taking advantage. If obviously we can pump the price up, but then it just opens the door for the whales to sell and stuff like that. And personally for me, I think, like, I'm not a fan of the burn, but 50% of the people are, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but for me, I think it's all about volume and getting out there and getting more holders and getting more people that are actually just buying our crypto and buying our token, and more people trying to use like, how many people have we got on EverOwn now? It's 3 or 4 from what I know, or from, like, and at one stage we were saying that we had hundreds of people lining up that wanted to use it, and then we've only got 4 that have implemented it. Is like, I'm not concerned, because I believe in all you guys and I believe in the community and everything else, and what we're trying to do is different to anything that anybody else is doing. But a couple of weeks ago, before we opened EverOwn, apparently we had a lot of people lining up to use it, yet nobody's actually, like, there's only 4 or 5 companies that have jumped on board with us. I know it might be a bit of a random question and what I'm saying, but if there's anybody out there that can just answer that for me, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I think you bring up a lot of valid points, right? Like, we obviously don't want to pump the chart. We don't want to leave the chart vulnerable to dumps. And yes, the wait list for EverOwn had over 100 projects signed up onto it. I think one of the biggest things that we've realized since launching EverOwn is for a lot of projects that, you know, are just launching or are new, and a lot of the projects that we've been talking to, it's kind of just become really clear to us that we need to make EverOwn a bit more accessible to people. And so I don't know if you guys saw, but if you go to the EverOwn registration portal, the registration fee has actually been cut down pretty significantly. And that is in part to make it more accessible to the projects that are interested. And, you know, Waso's not on the call right now. I am unfortunately not a part of all the business development conversations, but I do know that we have several projects that will be coming on board soon. And then just thinking about, you know, us moving over to Ethereum and what that will mean, like, it's just going to open up a whole new floodgate for projects to come on board and utilize the product that we've built.
No, I understand, and I understand EverOwn is the first thing that we brought out and stuff like that, and I'm just a little bit concerned, and I've spoke to a few people in the community through Telegram and stuff like that, and they're like, you know what, like EverOwn and Titan was like, that's what he brought out first, but like he said his baby was the Kraken, and let's build this Kraken and let's show them that we can hold 10,000 BNB or something, and like it's worth millions and millions of dollars. And then all the interest went into EverOwn, but then, not that it's a fail, but I really thought once we brought out EverOwn, we might have 20, 30 people, 20, 30 companies or 20, 30 tokens that have already jumped on board and want to use it. And I understand we're brand new and people might not want to use it until it's a proven thing. And obviously you have to crawl before you walk, and you walk before you run. So this I understand, but just in the community, when I listen to Telegram and stuff like that, people are like, Jesus Christ, like, let's, we need to do something else besides EverOwn. Like, we really need to get a wallet out there and just bring out a little bit more of a use case, not just for people that want to lock up their contracts and stuff like that for them, but more of a use case for the people.
Yeah.
That's about it. But yeah, that's like my general concern. And I'm not the smartest person in the world when it comes to crypto and everything else, but I just listen to other people, and what other people are saying kind of makes sense to me. So if it makes sense to me, it actually makes sense.
One, don't undercut yourself. I know that we're not necessarily best friends, but everything you're saying is valid, is what I'll say on our end. And like, to your point of, you know, people talking about us needing to do something else besides EverOwn. I mean, when you guys think about it, there's probably a reason why Titan developed the bridge as quickly as he did. Like I said earlier, like, we all knew that he was working on it, but the speed in which he completed it was mind-boggling to the entire team. And I think as over the next couple of weeks, as more details come out, I wish I could talk more freely about it with you now, but I think...
No, Jen, look, at the end of the day, if you say over the next couple of weeks, you're not saying over the next couple of months. You're not saying the next 60 days or by Christmas, over the next couple of weeks. And that's reassuring to the community then. Like, just hold tight, kids, and we're all good. And if we're all good, we're all good. And actually, we believe in you guys a lot. Like, I know as as a holder, and as I've got some family members that are holders as well, and we believe in the team, and we haven't had a hiccup so far. So good, touch wood, and let's just keep pushing forward. But as long as we've got that real use case, and we're coming out, and we're going to keep evolving, and the evolution of EverRise will be coming. Oh my God, I love that. The evolution of EverRise. It's on its way. So if you guys are happy and everything else, then I have faith in the team and I have faith in the community. So God bless you all. Keep doing the job that you're doing, and thank you very much.
Thank you for those kind words. They really do mean a lot. You know, I know it's been a little difficult for me to be super present in Telegram main chat, but I do try to skim it when I can. And thankfully, all the mods are always forwarding me relevant messages. Like I said this when I came on board, like making sure that your guys' voices are heard is not only important to me, but it's important to the entire team. And, you know, I don't really know what more to say apart from like, trust me when I say we hear you guys and we're listening.
Thank you.
The evolution. I like that. Anyone else want to come up real quick to speak? Yeah, what's up, Tails?
If you allow me, I'll ask the next question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, I'm super noob in crypto. Just joined the space, I want to say like 6 months ago. Already had 2 big crashes in the market, and I survived, so I'm happy with that. With that in mind, I'm still not somebody who knows a lot about crypto, and I'm still just mainly following the hype, trying to learn as much as I can. Would it be possible, and if that's not the place, then please tell me to buzz off. Would you be able to tell me in layman terms what EverOwn actually does? Because I've listened to the launching, I've listened to AMAs, and frankly, most of it went right over my head. So would it be, in a really simple term, possible to describe what it does for me?
Yeah, of course. Let me take the first stab at it, and then TJ, you can jump in if you think I'm over explaining it. But
sounds good.
But basically, the way I think about EverOwn is it's really a way to, one, provide security for your project, right? Like if I'm a developer, like I want to build trust with my community, one. Two, I want to make sure that my project is secure. And so EverOwn does that in 2 ways. When a project owner or developer decides that they want to renounce contract, there's a couple of issues that can come up. One, if they renounce ownership, they'll permanently lose access to that smart contract. That smart contract and project also becomes vulnerable to potential blockchain hacks. Like, how awful would that be if, you know, you've renounced ownership of your contract and your project is thriving, and then all of a sudden, you know, you discover that there's a hack that is
Can I stop you here? What do you mean renounce ownership to your contract?
Okay, let's circle back and rewind. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but on the Binance Smart Chain, there are a lot of projects that will, you know, you can see them all the time in like crypto moonshots on Reddit, where they're like, you know, baby Floki, Doge, Shiba, Inu coin, ownership renounced, like launching fair trade now, right? And so what renouncing ownership of a contract means is basically within the code of the contract, there's an owner. And what they do with that code is they'll say, okay, I'm going to transfer ownership to this. Essentially, I consider it like a dead wallet. It's a wallet that no one has access to. So it'll be like, you know, 10 zeros and maybe an X or a dead at the end. So when they renounce ownership of the contract, they no longer own that smart contract. So they're no longer able to access it to make changes. If they want to whitelist an exchange, they can't do that because they can't actually access the contract and access the code to whitelist. And what that results in is like project development and advancements are severely limited because literally they cannot access the contract. Does that part make sense?
Kinda, yeah.
It's kind of like if I came out with a token and my token launched with a 20% tax and people were buying my token, and all of a sudden I realized, I'm like, whoa, like the way I distributed my token tax makes absolutely no sense for the rate in which my project is going. I need to change that. I would not be able, if I had renounced ownership of that contract, I would not be able to go in there and make the changes I need.
Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly how now I understand it. Thank you.
Great. So what EverOwn does is, instead of renouncing ownership to, renouncing ownership into what I consider the void, project devs are now able to secure their contract with EverOwn. So think of EverOwn as like a locker, right? Basically, they're putting their smart contract into that locker and it is now locked. Like they can't access it. No strangers can access it. It is locked in this locker. And
okay, perfect.
And then imagine, the project takes off and it's like, oh, we want to list on, throw out any exchange out there. Like say like Binance picks up the project and it's like, oh, holy shit, guys, we have the opportunity to go onto Binance, right? What the project owner would then do is go to the community and be all like, hey guys, Binance wants to, put our token on their platform and on their exchange. We need access to the contract to whitelist Binance. So imagine Binance was like, hey, we need you to add this little bit of code to the contract in order for us to get you onto our exchange.
Yeah.
The community then needs to vote. And as long as the majority of the votes vote for yes in the allotted time that the voting is open, then the owner can open the locker and take out the smart contract, make the changes the owner needs to, and put it back in the locker and close it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jen?
One more thing. Give me 1 second,
sure,
guys.
Sure.
The other benefit of EverOwn, I'm sure you've heard us talking about this, but EverOwn also locks the newly generated liquidity. So if, most tokens launch and they're all like, hey, we have locked liquidity in DEX tools for 75 years, right? Any newly generated liquidity outside of that initial lock is technically what I would consider vulnerable. So what EverOwn also does is it locks that liquidity, all the newly generated liquidity. And then you can unlock that liquidity if you needed to take it out to go launch V2 of the smart contract. And you would just need the acceptance of the community.
Jen,
let me give you a great example. Hi, everybody. It is Sir Elegantium, a big holder of Rise, and I am now the COO of Sugarland, which is the third token to use EverOwn. So thank you for making great project.
Hey, buddy.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Hey, guys. It's me. So listen, I just wanted to say thank you. You're doing amazing things. I'm obviously invested in both projects, and we are happy to have been your third customer. And exactly what Jen is saying, we're actually doing a vote over at our project right now to change a little bit of the burn that Mia over there, our nice dev, is doing, and also just do a few little updates here and there. And also, of course, the liquidity is locked, and should the group ever vote to change how the liquidity is being used, that's doable too. So it's a great app, and congratulations on getting some other customers in the pipeline, and I'll take a back seat, but I just wanted to say hi to all my friends here at EverRise.
Hello. Crypto Chief, I know you've been trying to get a word in. What's up?
What I wanted to say was, so we locked our contract up, and then Titan has built the bridge to Ethereum, and he's come out. Did he not need our contract to make that bridge? Was that something that he could add? Like, because I'm a newbie and everything else, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but like, if we locked our contract, how did he adjust our contract and make the bridge without us voting? I'm sorry. I know it might be a shit question.
No,
I don't know, but
no. It's not a shit question. You don't need to downplay your questions. Like, guys, this is your space to ask questions, and there are no dumb questions here. But what I will say is, I am not the most technical crypto person when it comes to the tech. There's a reason why I do marketing and things that are visual, and I like to write and whatnot. So I'm not too sure on the technicalities, but I think in terms of building the bridge, he didn't need our contract because the bridge is a DApp. I'm pretty sure.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and now that makes sense and that works. But in my head, I'm like, so we locked our contract up, and we can't do anything to our contract unless the community gives it back to Titan and says, "You do what you need to do, boy, and you go and do it." But then he built a bridge, and we didn't know. Like, all of a sudden, the bridge is built and it's done. And in my head, I'm like, I thought we had our contract locked up. So how have we now got a bridge? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, the contract is locked up. As far as him building the bridge, he didn't need the contract in order to do it. I think, again, I'm also not the most technical person on the team. However, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that we will have to unlock it when we do transfer over. I don't even know if we will actually. Jen, do you know that? Because it is a DApp. It's not a contract change to bridge it.
I need to double check some of the details with Titan, but I do know that all those details will be released in the coming weeks.
No, just throwing the question out there, and just because obviously if I'm asking the question or thinking about the question, there's going to be another 50,000 people or 20, 30,000 people that might have the same question. So that's,
Yeah, no, it's fair. And again, as Jen said, this is your space. There is Titan just told us there's no need to unlock the contract in order to build the bridge.
That's so good that we're having Twitter Spaces, but Titan's there still answering questions in the background, which is awesome. So, and thank you.
He's always here.
He's always here. He's like Yoda. I think he should change his name to Yoda.
Absolutely.
Very wise.
And there's never any dumb questions. I mean, whether you have $2 or $20,000 invested, I mean, it's your hard-earned money, and you deserve answers to anything that you're wondering. So that's why we do these things. That's why we're here. So if you have a question, even if you think it's silly, ask away.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, can I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
TJ, Jen, love the work you guys are doing. Love this project. I'm a long-term holder. I mean, if you tell me that it's going to be next year before all the dApps are done, I don't care, because I believe in you guys' vision, Titan's vision on this thing. I just really see where it's going. My question, real quick, has there been any more conversation about NFTs and whether or not they will at some point potentially be able to be secured within one of our projects? My vision, I see EverRise, kind of as a tag as protecting all your digital assets from one legacy to the next. And I'd like to see if NFTs can be included within that protection ecosystem.
I think that's something that we would definitely have to look into. I know it hasn't really been, quite frankly, it hasn't really been discussed in terms of our near-term roadmap, just due to the fact that, it was like EverOwn, then Bridge, and now it's all those two things alone are opening up a whole new avenue for us. But I will definitely take that back to Titan and ask him, and I'll let you know in the next AMA.
Cool. Thank you.
I've unmuted a couple other people, so if you have any questions, the floor is yours. If you have a question, feel free to request.
If you don't have a question, TJ and I can just talk back and forth all day.
We already do that.
I know. I miss you so much during the day,
Of course. I miss you too. Alexander, what's up? You have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Hi, Jen.
Sure.
Hi.
TJ.
Hey.
My question is regards to the other side, so the Ethereum side. You might be able to answer this, I'm not sure. But my question is, what will the starting price be for there? Is that like too far ahead?
So yeah, no. So the starting price on Ethereum is going to be the same price that it is on BSC.
Nice. Okay. No, that's all.
Yeah. Cool.
Appreciate you.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited for this Ethereum bridge. I was so excited from the second that we started planning it because, I mean, the nature of the BSC space right now compared to June when we launched, even compared to April or May, has changed significantly. And a lot of the big projects that move forward in the altcoin space are on Ethereum. So the fact that we're able to bridge over there and the Titan has completed the bridge in such a short amount of time is incredible. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He does in a week what takes projects 3 months to a year to do.
Yeah.
So you got to remember the caliber of the developer that we have running the show here.
His speed for coding, man, it's incredible. Like, just to attest to what you're saying.
Can you talk about the it's not newly minted tokens, correct?
Jen, can we get into that discussion?
No, we cannot.
Yeah, so a lot of the information about the Ethereum bridge will come out in the coming weeks. There's a lot that we can't say right now.
That's a good thing. So thank you.
It is.
It really is.
And it is correct that other projects will be able to use it? Or is that something you can't say either?
Can you guys hear me?
Can't say that either.
Can't say that either.
That was so slick. Oh my gosh.
I feel
the news will be worth the wait. That's all I can say right now.
Hey, like I told you, bro. I mean, I don't care if you tell me it'll be next year. I'm here, bro.
It'll definitely be significantly sooner than next year. That you have my word on. Hey, Garen, I saw your mic light up there.
Can you guys hear me though? Oh,
yes.
Okay, great. So here's an interesting question. I've heard Titan say multiple times that his vision is to, of course, the security of the token holders and to not wait for more investors to come in to make the investment move up. So his strategy is create these different dApps that allows for income, that allows to generate an income and share that income with the token holders. And that in itself, I don't know of any other token or project that thinks that way and that has that. So I believe that in itself is probably one of the biggest marketing features. Coming back to marketing again, sorry. So any plans to do any marketing material that outlines or shows people that feature that we have?
Yes. So this has been something that we've been talking about in our recent marketing strategy. What's a little tiny bit tricky about this, it goes back to Guard's world where, there's how do I put this in a fun way? Because it's not totally fun. I would love to go out and just market the crap out of that, but we just have to be very, very careful that we're doing that. So we're right now we're just trying to figure out the correct way to word it and what we also need to add on to tags as disclaimers, like how EverRise is not available for US retail buyers. And so that's kind of what we're weighing and trying to figure out. But yes, it has been a part of recent marketing discussions.
Totally understand. All right, thank you.
And I just want to add in here the amount of things that we're doing behind the scene legal wise. Well, I say we, but it's Guard. The fact that we're doing it this early on is super crucial because, I mean, we could go a year, 2 years and not do any of this stuff and then run into problems. So everything has been kind of ticked off. All the boxes have been checked. And we're making sure we do everything right early on so that moving into the future we can thrive and that we don't have any worries. So big shout out to Alex, aka Guard, on that front, making sure that that we're nice and safe.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I have a question. It's more of an analyst question, so maybe it's more of a question for Guard or Dr. Oleski, rather. But the Kraken, as we call it, holds BNB, correct?
Correct.
Is there ever a point where the price of EverRise, would increase so much that the Kraken's buyback using BNB would become almost insignificant because it would be buying, less and less Rise as the price of Rise goes up, I guess? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I understand it. Honestly, I don't think I'm the person to answer it.
Yeah, I think.
Because
So, yeah, I'll take this. So the Kraken collects BNB from the purchases on PancakeSwap, purchases and sales on PancakeSwap. It can only ever be deployed onto the contract, and we're not able to turn those funds into a stable coin, for example. So if BNB goes up to $10,000, let's say, God willing, one day, that would be great. The Kraken's belly would increase on its own just from that. Now, Titan doesn't have to set a certain amount. There's no minimum amount. So if BNB is $10,000, he can put in 0.01 BNB and it'll be $100. So the Kraken is completely dependent on BNB, the same way that our market cap is completely dependent on BNB.
But my question is, if let's say BNB is stable at the price it's at now, stays that way, but the price of EverRise goes, 10x, 100x, whatever, the buyback then would become a little bit more insignificant, wouldn't it? Because you'd be spending, his 10 or 100 BNB purchases would actually be buying less EverRise tokens.
Correct, but you need to remember that with every buy and sell, there is the 6% tax collected that goes to the Kraken. So as EverRise grows, so does the Kraken.
Okay.
So it will never sit, like, as long as there's chart volume, the Kraken will continue to grow unless it's being used. It'll never just sit stagnant.
And for the price of EverRise to go up, obviously there'd have to be a lot of volume trade, which would make the Kraken larger. Okay.
Well, exactly. Volume or BNB going up also raises the price.
Yeah. Okay. I just kind of talk it through and made sense in my head now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Right now, when those, 50 bill sales go in and we're getting, I don't know what the exact rate is today. Let's just call it 5 BNB. At some point when the, same amount gets sold to feed the Kraken BNB, we could be getting 50 BNB each sell, so that Kraken will get huge.
Yeah, the Kraken will grow at the rate that EverRise grows.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to me now. So yeah, awesome. Even if the price of EverRise goes up, that makes the Kraken grow at the same rate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Even if the price goes down, the Kraken still grows because it's collecting 6%.
Right.
And then once those 50 billion cells go through, it's converted.
Right, and I know Titan is using it I know he's using it at the correct time. Like there's good times to, when BNB goes down, it's actually a pretty good time to burn some tokens. Because when BNB goes back up, you still burn the same amount of tokens, so it makes sense. And you guys are doing a great job. I believe in the project. Just keep it up.
Thanks a lot, Austin. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, thank you, Austin.
Hey guys, I'll just ask a quick question. Sorry, I don't know if you guys answered this or not. But you said earlier that the marketing you guys are doing is more of like a top 100 coin marketing and not like the regular BSC type marketing. So what's the difference and what does top tier marketing look like exactly?
Jen, you want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take it. God, I'm trying to figure out how to put this in a way that doesn't like kind of poo-poo on what I see with BSC marketing most of the time. But more often than not, a lot of the marketing that I've seen for BSC coins is very ad hoc. And it's very much like, what can we secure in the short term? Like, for example, like a tier 1 YouTube influencer, right? Like those guys are pretty darn expensive. And I'll see projects go and blow their entire marketing budget on one influencer to make one video that, sure, like maybe 6-8 months ago when the BSC market was hot, like, yeah, that one video could send that coin flying. But the reality is right now is the BSC market doesn't look like that. We're seeing overall volume decrease in the BSC market. And so what that indicates to me is we need to build out marketing strategy that supports itself. And like what that looks like, I'm trying to figure out a good example that I can tell you guys without saying something that I'm not supposed to say. It's okay. It's kind of like if you go and do, let's say, press and media. Like, I think this will be a good example. Fingers crossed. You can go out and pay for a press release, and that's great. It gets syndicated. You get all these press logos that you can start utilizing. Your article and story goes everywhere. But if it's not supported with marketing, whether that means like social media marketing, like it kind of ends up falling flat, right? It's a big splash for a very short amount of time versus what does it look like when you are making strategic partnerships with media companies, so that way if you put out an article, it's also supported through their email marketing, their social media marketing, and it's not just an article that lives on their site that our community then has to shill. Because like if our community is the only one shilling it kind of becomes an echo chamber, right? And so a lot of the marketing strategy that we're looking at implementing actually really complements and supports itself. And it supports other channels apart from just like a press channel. Like it goes and ends up supporting a lot of the various things in our top of funnel, because like we'll feed some of that marketing through to our website. It builds our SEO. Like that's kind of the realm in which we're thinking.
I'll give you kind of a real life example to compare it to. Imagine you live in New York City. It's your local newspapers of your local towns compared to the New York Times. So a lot of the BSC marketing is like little local newspapers with influencers and little PooCoin ads and stuff. But we're now going after the New York Times, essentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So stable marketing versus unstable marketing, or influential marketing versus targeted marketing.
Yeah, this is
right?
more, I would consider the marketing that we're doing right now much more targeted and strategic as opposed to ad hoc and based off of a gut feeling of what we know is good. Like we are looking at all the media partners that we're now partnering up with. We're looking at what is their daily traffic, what is their monthly traffic, what is the average read on every article, like what additional support can we get when we're forging this partnership with this media company? Like that's that's what we're doing. It's kind of like, you know, BSC marketing is at the toddler stage. Like we are now grown-ups and in the process of graduating college stage.
Yeah, it's far along for sure. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.
Guys, I don't think you want to hear me talk about how much I miss TJ for the next 7 minutes. So does anyone else have any questions?
About anything. I see a few EverRise NFTs on your display pictures. I love it.
We'll be doing some more of that for you guys that I can share.
Yeah. We'll be working on a fun little community NFT initiative. Get those out to some more people.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love NFTs, so I think they're fun. I think they're the future, in one sense. Like compared to art, the way that I see it is, let's say you got a classic Da Vinci painting in your house. The only people who are going to see it are the people that come over. I mean, but if you got like a crazy one-of-one NFT, like a Fidenza, which is a very famous artist, and it's on your NFT profile, anybody could see it. So I do think there's a lot of room to grow with NFTs as well. And we've actually, we've been pitched a few NFT projects for EverRise, which, I mean, they don't necessarily align with what we're doing and the safety and security of the space, but it's great to see that people are taking the initiative and trying to, they're seeing what is working and what's growing, and they're pitching ideas to us, which I really like. If anyone ever has an idea, my DMs are always open. I see there's a question from Humanoid. I'll unmute you. Feel free to speak. Floor is yours.
What happened? Isn't TJ speaking?
Sorry?
Aren't you TJ?
Yes.
So what happened to TJ?
I am TJ. I'm just on the EverRise account as opposed to my own Twitter account.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, you'll see Jen and I switch off. Sometimes she'll host it. Sometimes I'll host it.
I love to hear the outlook of the new direction. That sounds amazing, Jen.
Thank you. I know, you know, like I said, I recently came into this position, and I know sometimes to the community side, in terms of what's actually visible to you guys, it feels a little slow, but I promise you, like, I am working 12 to 16-hour days getting this all together. So it's coming.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, everybody's just so used to like doing massive shields about things that are never going to come and pumping ludicrous ideology and ludicrous ideas. I mean, it's like a completely different take on doing something the right way, you know, that really has people confused. They're like, why aren't we telling everybody that we're going to go to the moon? Why aren't we telling everybody they should want a Lambo? You know, it's a completely different take on it. I love it. I love the direction.
Thank you. That means a lot. And like, yeah, I think to your point, what you're saying really just makes me want to remind you guys that like we are, and TJ mentioned this earlier, like we have taken all the steps and precautions to make sure that we've set EverRise up as a company to be here for the long run. Like we're not going anywhere. We know what this project can do, and we know the solutions we can bring to blockchain. And as you guys know, the Ethereum bridge is coming. So it's not only going to be the Binance Smart Chain, but it's going to be all of DeFi. And, you know, revolutions don't start overnight, but that's where we're headed. And that's why we're taking the time to make sure we're doing this right. And so thank you guys for the patience and holding. I really, really love that we have our diamond-handed community. I started off as a community member, just like you guys, as an investor in the project. And, you know, all I can say is I think if you go through my transaction history, it's just constant $10, $20, $30 buys for like 5 pages, no sells, because it's like I know where this is going, and it's just really, really incredible, and I'm really glad you guys are seeing it too.
Can I ask a quick question again? I think it was when TJ, I think you doxed yourself. Maybe it was you, TJ. I was early on in the project, but there's some merch coming, isn't there? Like merch store, sweatshirts, hoodies.
Yeah, so I'll take that one, TJ.
Sure.
Who's the designer for that?
The design team, probably led by myself and Storm, who's our chief operating officer now, will be heading up merch. But in terms of priority in what we're doing and what we're building, we have a couple more things that we want to get out the door before we start exploring merch. So
yeah,
it'll come.
That makes sense. No, that definitely makes sense. I think there's a lot of us though that would love to rock some of those EverRise hoodies.
We'll get you guys some cool stuff. Just let us get some of these other things like the bridge out of the door.
You guys are working hard. I know you guys are working hard. That makes sense. I'm just thinking fall is coming and I want an EverRise hoodie.
Hey, maybe for winter. How about that?
All right, sounds good. Maybe we can.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Knowing Titan, he's just gonna have everything done in like a week, so you guys can work on merch then.
I know, like knowing Titan, he'll be all like, "Guys, I actually made the merch myself. Can we approve these designs?"
Titan's listening right now, and he just opened up a whole merch store already.
All right, guys. I'm looking at the time. I unfortunately have to hop off at the bottom of the hour. I got a very long checklist of things to do, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening, and we're really excited to be hosting these on Twitter Spaces, and it's always great to get FaceTime with you guys. Or voice time, I should say.
Voice time, yeah, absolutely. And thanks again, guys, for tuning in. As we mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing 2 of these a week. Typically, it's going to be Jen, Wasso, and myself. And with that said, I guess we'll close off the spaces for today. You know where to find us on Telegram. We're on Discord as well. If you guys have any questions, always feel free.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thanks.